What many women don't understand about sports. All right, so women say, "Why do you care so much?" And not all women, but they say, "Why do you care so much?" Just grown men in tights playing ball. What they don't get as a man is the sports is a legacy. It's a way to pass down from generation to generation that we can touch previous generations and future generations. And let me give you a perfect example of this. In 1977, the Raiders won the Super Bowl 11 against the Vikings, 32 to 14. That was the first time I actually ever talked to my grandpa on the telephone because he had Oakland Raiders. He lived in California. I lived in Maine. He had Oakland Raiders season tickets. He had sent me Raiders stuff. He got. I remember I had a Pride and Poise Boys poster on my wall. I had an Oakland Raiders trash can. I love the Raiders. That was my way to connect. And back then, when the Raiders won, I called my grandpa on the phone. And back then, it was cost an arm and a leg to call long distance. But that was the one time I could do it because it just cost so much. All right. And then Super Bowl, when the Raiders won, they beat the Eagles 27-10 in Super Bowl. I can't remember what Super Bowl that was. It was 1981. My parents had just split up just recently, right before that. And I was at my dad's house in Portland, Maine, watching that. My brother, I don't know if my sister was there, my little brother, and Harry Martin had the three interceptions. And I mean, it was just, again, it was what I remember. I remember when the Wade Boggs, when the Red Sox lost in Game 7 against the Mets in 1986. I remember exactly where I was. You see what I'm saying? That the sports was part of my life. And then when I got to have kids, it changed everything. And what I mean in terms of the legacy that gets built up. Because now I'll never forget, it was a 2010 or something like that, when the Chicago Blackhawks were on the way to win their first cup in many, many years. I remember we lived in Texas, and I remember sitting there with Maddie, and she's probably 10, 11 years old or something like that. That's my oldest daughter. And we're just watching I remember they're playing Nashville Predators in I can't remember, Game 5 or Game 6, something like that. And maybe it's even Game 7. And Maddie's asking about hockey and stuff like that. Just, hey, what's going on here and what's going on there? Very talkative. It's like, it's so tough. But I'm passing that on to her. You see what I'm saying? Now, two of my kids, Chloe and Kevin, they could care less. But Liam and Maddie, it's our connection together, man. You know what I'm saying? And Chloe and Kevin have other connections I have, more so with music. But, I have a good connection with music with Maddie, too. But anyway, sports is something I can connect with. So when the Falcons just got bounced from the playoffs, just right now, in a way, it's kind of depressing because I remember where I was last year when the Falcons got bounced, and I was with my son Liam both times. But now Liam he went from being a sophomore in high school. Now he's a junior in high school. And the next time the Falcons suit up, he'll be a senior in high school. You see what I'm saying? So it's touching the past of my grampy, touching the past of my dad, touching the past when I'm single. And some of my friends, I remember watching the Caps, when I just watching the Redskins and whatnot. My dad took me, to see the Phillies, to see the Orioles, to see the Redskins at RFK. I remember it's like a connection of a legacy. And that's why I get why. And so now my Maddie, she goes to see the Capitals when she's in D.C. with her boyfriend. And the reason she does that is because I introduced her to hockey and we have conversations about it. And that's my legacy to pass on to my kids. But it's also, you're seeing your time kind of slip away. You're saying, man, I remember when I was just talking to Maddie about hockey, she was 10 and now she's 24 and we're still talking about hockey. And we can say, remember where we were when the Bruins won the cup? We were in Disneyland. Whatever the one is in Orlando. Is that Disney World, Disneyland? I can't remember. But we're in Disneyland when the Bruins won the cup against Vancouver. I remember that like it was yesterday. You see what I'm saying? And these are the legacies. Then when Maddie has kids, hopefully she'll pass a legacy to her kids, and it'll be a way we can touch the generation. So like these University of Georgia fans, for instance, or University of Tennessee, whatever, I don't care. The SEC football fans and college football fans. Why they go to these tailgates. And for me, it has no appeal to me because I don't drink and, I don't want to get all stupid like these guys. But, if you went to University of Georgia, your dad went to University of Georgia, your granddad went to the University of Georgia, and your granddad took your dad tailgating, who took you tailgating, and it's multi-generation. It's the way the legacy is passed. This is what my granddad did. This is what my dad did. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I want my grandkids to do. It's not just about the wins and losses. I mean, it sucks when your team loses, and it's great when they win, but it's about I just got off the horn. I just called Liam and said, man, because we knew the Falcons had lost when they got bounced when the Tampa Bay won. I was like, man. So we just said, all right. He said, he said, I'm going to go do some homework or something like that. I said, I'm going to go downstairs. But I just remember it's like, man, I remember having this time last year. You know what I'm saying? I had 2 more years of Liam in my house, and I only got 1 more year of Liam in my house. You see what I'm saying? And then at some point, we'll be talking about the Falcons or the Patriots, and Liam will be a grown man. And at some point, we'll be talking about the Falcons or the Patriots, and Liam will have his own kids, and I'll be a granddad. And these are just connections to legacy that I just think a lot of women in particular don't understand. It's not just about the wins and losses. It's certainly not about stupid gambling. Don't do that. That's dumb. Don't gamble your freaking money on teenage boys playing a stupid sport. But it's also not just about young men in tights, playing sports ball. It's permanent. It's permanent more than that. And for a young man, again, maybe some women too, but for a young man, he has memories of, his past and how involved sports was. Now, my wife remembers her dad loved the Yankees, loved the Giants, you know what I'm saying? And she still has memories of her dad with that. And as such, that's pretty cool. Again, it's the legacy. It's the way you can touch the past, but also the way you can touch the future generations. Anyway, just figured I'd share that with you because I'm somewhat sentimental right now saying, man, here we go again. The next time the Falcons suit up, this will be my last year with Liam in the house. You see what I'm saying? It's sad. It's sentimental. It's not sad. Sad's not the right way. But it's just, time is ticking by. And sports is an indication of that. Because every year is a new year. And when that year goes away, you're like, I'm getting closer to whatever the inevitability is. And it's sentimental. All right, God bless. We'll see you.